pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. They'll start by running the option to the right. And some room to work. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. This game, the ninth that the Jags have played here in London. You might know that Shad Khan, he's the owner of both the Jaguars and Fulham in the English Premier League on the soccer side of things. And this is the third of 3 London games the NFL will play this year. But there is one more game to come over on the continent, the Seahawks and Bucks from Munich, Germany. The first time a regular season game will be played there. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this one is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Derrick Henry, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Throwing Jones. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10. The Jaguars have 1-6 now. They come in losers of 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the option, here's Etienne. And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the 2nd drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves.
but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And they are going to get this one back. Nearly like-for-like fumbles, but they hang on to this thing and keep it a turnover.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust, because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
They'll run with Etienne. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Jones going to throw on 3rd and goal. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jamison Williams with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Jaguars are back within a score. Extra point try good by Gano, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the counter, it's Henry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And the Jags are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football. Because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
He's got the hookup here to Deshaun Jackson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Keeps it.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Randy Gregory from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack on first down, Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Jones. Into a sea of defenders, unintercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to have it here just past the 25. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy. And can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Back to throw. Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. He gets it complete to Jackson. And they'll get this down to the 10. on 1st and 10. It's ETN.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Jamison Williams with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down carry for Henry. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Here's the option going left on 2nd down. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
The kick by McManus is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Now Jones, a final shot before break. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, there were 3 talking points at the half, partner. All of them are about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Jones. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown. And this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Jones, another shot here after the pick 6. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Jones now on 1st down. He's going to go deep for Beasley. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, Jones' throw going into the hands of Williams. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll run with Etienne. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 58 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
To throw again on second down. Jones. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Andre Cisco there on the stop. When you think about this strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that's had great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play. Got his man, it's Dulcich. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
Henry up the middle. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Hey, 0. Yeah, listen.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The kick by McManus is good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. When you think about it, that's a pretty important second-half field goal, Charles. That now stretches this to 2 possessions and really kind of ratchets up the pressure on that opposing sideline.
It certainly does, because that interception and adding a field goal to it, that puts them in firm control of this game right now. They're about one more big stop from putting this thing absolutely out of reach.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down. Back to throw. Jones. Right side to Williams. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
He's got this complete to Williams. And he is going to have a Jags first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 32.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll start out here with the option left. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The former Yellow Jacket Adam Gotsis, the one who got in there to make the play. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Wilson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Devon Hamilton collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that will extend their lead even further. The distance was never the question there, but he gets a friendly bounce to carom that thing through the uprights.
Yeah, and when you're trying to hit from 50-plus, you got to expect the ball's going to slide one way or the other. So he's pretty fortunate there. He was able to bank this one in.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You can have the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found the way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That pass caught. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Jones. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Desperation time now. Here's Jones. It's caught on the right side. Williams. Touchdown. Jamison Williams from 13 yards out. And the Jaguars have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Finds Dulcich out left side. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. And they will take a knee here. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking